let's go to our next bit on the show, and that is headlines across Africa. Don't go away.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Okay, were you choking? Are you okay?
Yeah,
You,
just
you want water?
my throat. No, I'll be okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
I could get you water if you want.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So today we're going to Gabon, Malawi, and Togo, and we'll be starting from Gabon, where we're reading from the L'Union newspaper.
All right. And what's the headline saying?
Civil and Penal Codes, the draft amendment to the examination of MPs.
Okay.
Well, the draft amendment to the Civil and Penal Codes is now on the table of MEPs. The proposed amendment to the Civil and Penal Codes is now on the table of the members of Parliament, and this is evidenced by the recent hearing of the Minister of Justice, Guard of Seals in charge of human rights, Eileen Antonella Ndembet Damas, and her colleague, Priska Koho Ndeled, Minister of Social Affairs and Women's Rights, by the Committee on Laws, Administrative Affairs and Human Rights of the National Assembly. Sometimes I wonder why we have very long names attached to departments.
Yeah, maybe because of the area they cover of their operations. So, they cover bit pieces of these places. So
We could simplify life.
we could, yeah. We just choose to make it difficult. And we live by it. Let's go.
Well, the two members of the government were to defend the bills amending certain provisions of law 15 of 72 of July 29th, 1972,
Okay.
which included the Civil Code and Law 042 of 2018 relating to the Penal Code. Now, bills as part of the strategy to promote women's rights and reduce gender inequality. According to a report by the Sylvia Bongo Ondimba Foundation,
Okay.
90% of victims of sexual violence are women. They also account for 83% of victims of economic violence in Gabon. The adoption of this specific legislation remained insufficient as long as discriminatory provisions remained in other instruments of the legal corpus, the maintenance of which would have rendered the measures adopted ineffective. Well, hence the importance of grooming the drafts text cited, explained the Minister of Justice in front of MPs. Government emissaries believe that amending the articles 114, 169, and 170 and 700 of the Civil Code will eventually redefine marital relationships in couples. In addition, Section 169, the new section, is intended to extend the time it takes for citizens to report bets that are considered extremely short. And that's the story coming from the L'Union newspaper in Gabon.
In
I think
Gabon.
I'm good with the whole women stuff, the gender equality, putting laws in place to make sure that
Fight it.
yes, I'm happy with that. I just didn't get the marital part about couples and stuff. And I think it's also good to extend the time for people to register childbirth, because if someone lives very far
Yeah.
and within where they are, or probably they gave birth this time, they're too weak to come out and do it for a certain period of time. If the time is extended,
Yeah.
it gives them room to heal and be able to come back and register the kid.
Exactly. Okay.
Well, moving on to Malawi, we're reading from the Nyasa Times.
Nyasa Times. What is
And the
saying?
headline says Chakwera has ceased to be the president of Malawi. DPP calls on courts to nullify fresh election. Revert to APM SKC presidency.
Okay. Hold on. So we have a president and then he is no longer the president. How? Just give us a
Well,
story.
the erstwhile ruling Democratic Progressive Party,
Yeah.
DPP, has gone to court and is calling for the nullification of the 23rd June 2020 presidential elections and all subsequent parliamentary and local government by-elections following the rescinding of the appointment of two commissioners, Linda Kunje and Jean Matanga, by the office of the president and cabinet. Now, DPP, which nominated the two fired commissioners, is seeking a judicial review on Secretary to the President and Cabinet Zanga Zanga Chikosi's decision,
Okay.
which the party has described as abuse of executive powers.
Oh.
Well, spokesperson of DPP, Brown Mpanganjira, said the party has noted the decision of President Lazarus Chakwera, rescinding the appointment of Kunje and Matanga, and that the consequence of the rescission is that the appointments were void ab initio, to be treated as invalid from the onset.
There's a lot. There's a lot to take in.
It is a lot,
There's
but
a lot to take in, frankly speaking.
it is a lot.
Mm.
It really is a lot. But I think that politics should not get in the way of ruling a country.
Oh
And if
yeah.
it's a whole country, and it's
Yeah.
just interesting.
The moment you assume that position, you're a neutral person, in
That's
as much
it.
as you came there on a ticket of a certain political party.
Yeah.
But let's see how it goes.
It's just, I mean, I don't know why they're doing this. The man just walked his last daughter down the aisle, and
Yeah.
people are just.
Let's give him some break. Let's cut him some slack. Okay, not to say that if he's guilty of anything, he should
If he's
not
guilty,
follow,
it should be. Yeah, I
he
mean,
shouldn't
I
follow
believe
the,
they've taken it to
the
court,
right
so the
channel.
investigations will be done.
Exactly.
But I think we should get to a place where witch hunting should not be a thing. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
about witch hunting. Should probably they should have facts.
That's
they
the
should be
thing.
able to have
You know what?
evidence to
You know
back
what?
it up.
You know what? That's just the thing. Witch hunting. Like I'm out for you, man. Like no. Okay.
Well, we're going to Togo and we're reading from the Togo Tribune, and the headline says Togo COVID-19
Mm-hmm.
temporary suspension of vaccination campaign.
Okay. What's happening?
Well, the Togolese government has decided to take a vaccine break on Wednesday after a month of campaigning.
Because
Now, according to official information, 150,000 people were vaccinated during the period of this first vaccination phase
okay.
against the COVID-19 virus in Togo.
All right. Hmm.
Now, on March 10th, the country launched the coronavirus vaccination campaign after receiving the first doses of the vaccine.
Okay.
So she started with the authorities, then the medical profession, then people over 50, and finally over 30 in Grand Lomé.
Right.
For the balance sheet of the first era, 150,000 people received the AstraZeneca vaccine. Of these, 37,000 were from health workers. For accuracy, 55,000 people received their dose during days 11, 12, and 13th of April 2021. A balance sheet meeting is scheduled for this Thursday in Lomé, which happens to be today.
Okay.
And in addition to AstraZeneca, the Togolese government is considering ordering additional doses of vaccine from the Sinovac, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer laboratories in the coming days.
Right. I'm not surprised they're actually looking to bring in Johnson and Johnson and then the Sinovac because
Everybody's
India has actually suspended the exportation of AstraZeneca because of the way the issue is really going in India. But let's see how it goes. Yes, that's all we have.
That's all we have for headlines.
4 headlines across Africa.